Welcome to Crunch Time, a program dedicated to helping you survive the crunch times in your life, whether they are caused by accidents, natural disasters, poverty, economic recession, depression, or all-out economic collapse, or whether they are caused by your realization that today's food supply is being contaminated by artificial fertilizers, pesticides, and genetically modified organisms, and over-processing of crops into what can hardly be called food. We want to help you through the crunch times in your future by teaching you what we have learned about organic gardening, food storage, and food preparation. We'll bring you into our kitchen and into our garden and share with you what we have learned, hopefully before your crunch times arrive. Now here is Chef Francois. Welcome to Crunch Time, where Jesus is King and all our desires are to serve Him. Today we're going to continue on with the airing of the video from our second Squash Fest class, Cooking and Survival Gardening, that we put on for our church. So here is Chef Francois.
For pickling, you just use vinegar and sugar?
Water.
I try to keep my recipes simple. Back when I did the daikons, I looked up on the internet pickling cucumbers. And that recipe had water and vinegar and sugar. And I didn't think it had the vinegar bite that it should. So I said, I'm not using any water. It's got to be a certain acidity to be able to prevent the bacteria from growing. So if you water it down, you're going to push it to that limit where it's no good anymore. Yeah. So I just use half vinegar and half sugar. Half and half, okay. And what I do is I take a jar and this is one pickle. I mean, this is one cucumber. Oh. And obviously it was fairly big because it takes up most of that thing. And I just sliced them up, stacked them all up, and then started putting some in sideways and crammed it full. And then I took the top off and I filled it up with water and then poured it into a measuring cup to see how much space is in there. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to warm up too much vinegar.
Yeah.
So I just said,
he wastes nothing.
You know?
Yeah, you do. To the pickles, do you add salt?
The first time I made pickles,
or to any of the other things?
The first time I made pickles, I did it according to the recipe that says, you got to dehydrate this some. There's just too much water in cucumbers. So you got to spread them out, cover them with salt, put some more on top, put some more salt on top, and let that salt draw the water out, and then rinse it all off. And I said, that's a lot of work, and I like them without it. Okay. So I gave up all that nonsense. Okay. That took a lot of work. You know, I had a stack of these little bread and butter pickles a foot high on my plate.
Yeah.
And I had to rinse them all off. I put them in the colander and I'd rinse them all off. They don't look any more dehydrated than they were when they started.
Yeah. Too labor intensive.
What kind of vinegar do you use? Apple cider or
that stuff right there. White.
White vinegar.
White vinegar.
Yep. You can use apple cider. It works just fine.
Have you ever tried using any other sweetener besides sugar?
Yeah.
How does it work?
What is the stuff that I used it on today?
Oh, you had...
technically sugar is not really good for you.
No.
Yeah, especially if you're diabetic.
Here, you had some things in here. Is there
there's something that I made today, or I brought today. I made yesterday. I used 5 packs of stevia.
Oh, you use stevia. Yay, good. It works, huh? Good.
I don't remember what it was now.
What is the ratio of stevia to sugar? Because
it's about 1 to 1.
And it's not like baking a cake.
Truvia is a stevia brand name.
Right.
And 1 packet is a teaspoon of sugar.
But half a cup of sugar or something like that.
Oh, you can buy it in a bag,
Relate.
a big
You
bag.
buy it in a bag.
Stevia
Yeah.
and the raw big bag.
It's about 1 to 1. But supposedly better for
It's
you.
not like mixing a
Yeah.
cake and you need the texture of the cake.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's different.
yeah.
But you just need to taste the flavor of it, really.
I like the taste of stevia.
Yeah, one of the things we were gonna do tonight, and I might get to it yet, time is it already? 8:20. Maybe we should put it off. Wanted to make 3 different cakes out of that, and that.
How's the
But I
stuff
also
in the
wanted
oven on
to-
time?
What's that?
How's
Yeah,
the stuff
Tommy
in the
checked
oven
us.
on time?
It's not burning yet. Unless somebody keeps opening the
Yeah,
thing for
could you
nothing.
lose
Oh,
the?
check the sausages.
I opened it so somebody could check it.
Oh, how do
don't
we
know
know? Give me a fork, or how do you check yours?
Sausages have got to be cooked by now. Just take a towel, bring them out, and then cut one in half.
Put that pan in those pickles. Did you do a water bath or anything after that or no?
Water bath.
Water bath. Oh, okay.
What's yourself?
How much liquid did you?
Okay.
Remember you said you were gonna measure?
Fill it up to,
Right, but you.
on the big ones, depending on what I had, sometimes it took a cup and a half.
Do you do a
Sometimes
toothpick?
it took a cup.
Right. Toothpicks?
Well,
Depending
I
on
don't
how
know.
tight
All
I
right.
crammed them in. If there were
I
cucumbers
think
I made
they're
spears.
done.
I think they're done.
Good, shut the oven off.
Okay, all right. Shut
They
it
need to
off.
come out.
All right.
I took all her old candy jars, I got the rubbers and everything, the whole box.
It's been a half an hour since we put them up to 3
Can you move that glass thing?
And you guys tell me what this is.
Pickles.
What kind of pickle?
More pickles.
Well, it's watermelon.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it watermelon?
Yeah.
And if you've never had watermelon with the skin on it, we can open that up and you can taste it. I think the watermelon without the skin is too bland.
It almost looks like a dill
Yeah,
pickle,
in fact,
isn't it?
Oh, she wants to get it on the camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
not so close. Come on. You gotta be 3 feet away to get a decent focus.
Thank you. Okay. They almost look like a dill. If
They
you,
do.
If you hadn't
It's
said it was
watermelon
watermelon,
with
I
a
would have
skin.
thought it was looks like a dill pickle to me.
Anybody want to try them?
Yeah, you
but
do
it's
it so nice. Look at that. I mean,
it's
that
most-
jar is perfect.
But it's
the way you
mostly
put them
rind.
in.
It's mostly rind, right?
It's only the rind.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's only rind. There's no red stuff in there at all.
The dishes. Or you know what?
Paper?
I had paper plates.
Here, I
Yeah,
have
you
my
had paper
plates
plates.
too.
I think
I
I
have my
buried.
plate.
I got one here.
All right, let's take a. Do you have a fork? A fork. We'll get a fork out.
It's better that way.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. All right, give me your plate.
Are the plates on there?
No,
threw mine
I
away.
just looked and they're not.
I'll get a paper towel maybe.
Hold your plate over, Danny.
Not there.
I had plates. What happened?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the ones at Christmas you can get mixed pickles. Without,
Without the rind.
the skin.
The first batches I
It's all
made,
rind, it's all rind, but it's
go
soft.
without the skin.
It's soft though.
Yeah. The first batches of watermelon pickles I made, I peeled it and I waited, I don't know, a week to a month, something like that, before I ate them. And they were just too soft and too tasteless and didn't have any good texture. So I said, I'm leaving the rind on. I'm leaving the skin on. And I like them better with the skin.
And how long did you let
They have
those
some
sit?
spices too.
How long did those sit in the jar?
Huh?
How long, or those were the cooked ones?
No, they're not cooked.
I mean, they're not the, they were just put in the jar and let sit?
Put in the jar, heat up your vinegar and sugar half and half until it's boiling, and then pour it in with the funnel that comes with the canning kit. And I bring it up to about a ½ inch from the top, close it off, and then process it in the water bath.
Well, it certainly didn't taste like watermelon.
No, it's the rind, the part that you normally throw away. In fact, remember we fried something last week? All these vegetables, we chopped them up and fried them? You can do the same thing with watermelon rind, with the skin.
Well, that's actually quite sweet, and if you really had a sweet tooth, that would almost suffice.
Wow.
That's like candy when you get the mixed pickle thing.
Yeah. You can see some of the red on some of these.
Yeah.
Next year, when I do the watermelon, I'm gonna have a beet, you know,
What now?
We'll make it red.
a beet.
Oh,
Because I like the dark red, and I like the taste of the beets.
Now, did you put cinnamon in here or no? No. Well, you just used the cinnamon for the daikon.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
You could put cinnamon in here though.
You could.
you could, yeah.
Because the ones that you get commercially, they're spicy. They're a little more spicy than this.
Yeah, but survival mode, I figured vinegar and sugar, and that's it.
That's it, right.
So that's what's in this one.
Denny?
vinegar and sugar.
Yeah, those are
And it's
good.
half and half.
Half and
Yeah,
half.
thank you.
So you figure out how many cups it's gonna take to fill one, you multiply by the number of jars you got, it takes 7 to fill up the whole canister,
Some sugar.
or the big pot that you're gonna boil them in. And fill them to the top, and whatever you have left over,
Supposed to cook that.
I've got a small
Yeah,
vinegar jar.
boil vinegar with
It's about this big around and this tall,
and
that I used to buy vinegar that way until I found it in this big a thing. And so I take all that hot stuff that's left, and I pour it into that jar and put it back in my cabinet. And next time, that's the beginning of the batch to do it.
And then
And pickles, the first time I did pickles with all that salting nonsense, you gotta wait 2 hours and then rinse it all off and stuff. It took so long, I was up until midnight 30,
Yeah.
5 nights in a
Because you
row.
started it and you have to finish it.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And you know, you gotta process it in your big
you don't need that
kettle.
much salt either.
You gotta boil all that water. It takes an hour at high to get that water to even boil.
Yeah.
And then you gotta boil it for at least 10 minutes. And then you gotta, you know,
So,
take them
so,
out.
so with this or with cucumbers, you just put them, you cut them, put them in a jar, and then you
Yep.
boil your vinegar and
Vinegar
your
and sugar, and I put it in.
And you,
And sometimes I don't have enough cucumbers to do 7 quarts. And so I'll do 2. Now, how can I process 2? I don't want to warm up that great big pot.
Yeah.
It's going to take 3 times as much water because you're not displacing all the water with these jars. And it's going to take forever to boil that
do
water.
you boil your jars? Is that what you're talking about? You boil
Yeah.
it? Can I have a
He's
can?
doing regular canning with
when they're
water.
full, you boil it. You do it in a bath. That's
You-
called a bath.
You put
water bath.
Okay, you put the jars in empty with just
No.
with the water or with the
All
with
everything.
You got all this stuff in, you got the tops on, you got a rack that holds 7 of them, and you put the rack
okay.
into the big pot, you put all these in there, you put the cover on, you boil it until it boils for 10 minutes,
Boil 10
and then you take the rack and you pick it up and you set it on the edge of it so that the bottles are up like that, you shut the stove off, you let them cool, and then you take them with your special tool that picks them up so you don't burn your hands. You take them out of the rack and you put them on a towel on top of the cabinet and you let them cool. And
The lid
these tops
on
right
that
here
Yeah.
are crowned. When they cool,
Click.
it'll
Oh,
be done.
okay.
If they don't, you got to reprocess them.
I have a question. I have a bunch of
remember
old,
that.
the old canning jars and the rubbers, and I bought some extra rubbers. How do I know if it's just okay or?
You sterilize them. You boil them.
No, I mean as far as there's no click and
There's no clicking. You just gotta
let it go.
trust it. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's 10 minutes. It boils. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If it goes bad, it'll turn weird.
I guess what you could do, since it's going to be a vacuum, you take the clip down, and if that thing is not loose and you can't very easily pick it up, then it's got the suction, then it's
Right.
okay.
Right.
But
Vacuum.
if it lost the vacuum, you can just
Yeah,
hit it with your finger like that and the thing will fall right off.
I get you.
Well, that one,
Vacuum
Well,
will
lids
keep
aren't that
sealed.
expensive.
clip it
You
back
could
up.
Just buy new lids, I wouldn't use them.
I have an
Oh.
old one, so
So we need to buy
the glass.
the decaying jar with the
The
rack
glass
and then
Oh, they're
the tool will
glass
pick
lids.
up
Yeah, they
the
got metal on
jars.
the sides
Oh.
and it flip, you flip it.
somebody tell me, how can I process 2 jars?
And then the
That's all I've got today.
Smaller pan?
Put them in the microwave.
Smaller
No,
pan.
not microwave.
But a pan is only,
Not very big. Paper.
I'm gonna use these for demonstration, but
Yeah, but couldn't you put
not really gonna work.
put the empty, leave the others in there, but leave them empty anyway, or not?
This pot's not really big enough for this one, so I'm gonna show it to you with a smaller one. Normally, you're supposed to have the water in the pot at least an inch above the jars.
Oh, wow.
But I'm too cheap to boil
That much water.
40 gallons of water for 2 little jars. It's just too expensive. So I've got a pot that 2 of these will fit into, and it does that. It sticks up above it. And so I got the water up most of the way so it doesn't spill over when it's boiling. And I take my other pot
And make it.
and I go like this. And I just, if you want to put a rubber band around it right here, you can.
What makes it a
And I
pressure
just put
cooker?
like that. It's kind of like a pressure cooker. And yeah, the water's not all the way up above it, but gee, why does the water have to be above it?
Yeah. Who cares? Like
You know, it's not like the water soaks in
Yeah.
because you already got it squeezed off. All you're doing is pushing the steam out.
And
Well, you could,
and my heat.
So as long as it gets hot enough in there, that's good enough.
you
So
could,
I can do 2
you could
pots.
put it
out.
on its side and do them separately in one where you could.
Yeah, you could. If you had one deep enough, you could just lay it down like this. But
Yeah.
you know, where's it gonna push out? Is it gonna push out some of my vinegar, or is it
Yeah.
gonna push out the air? I don't know. If you're standing up, you know.
Yeah.
No.
So I just do them 2 side by side like that.
Now, the racks, do they hold them off the bottom?
They hold.
When you put them in with the rack, does it keep the glass
Yeah,
from
it
hitting the
does.
bottom of the pan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when you get done, you can just grab the handles of the rack, which are happen to be folded over, and you open them up like this, and you pick them up and go like that, and they sit right on the edge, and the whole rack sits up on top.
But why do they do that? Is there a chance of popping the glass because it's...
No, they just want to be able to pick them all up out of there without.
No, I mean, they
Touching
don't
out.
touch the bottom of the pan though.
You got to have something underneath it to be able to pick it up. So the rack is just a wire.
A wire. The rack is a wire.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason it doesn't touch the bottom.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. When I do it this way, it touches the bottom.
Right, well, I was wondering if there was a reason why it shouldn't touch the bottom, that's why I asked that.
Oh, so it's
But the
not
only
supposed
reason it
to
doesn't in the other one is because it's the way the rack is made. I was wondering if it'd be hot enough it would crack the glass, that's all. But apparently not.
Well, shall we dice up some of this stuff and pan fry it and have it with that sausage, or shall
Of
we?
course,
Shall we just eat bread?
no.
That sounds
Okay.
good.
Then let's
You
dice up some
ladies want to
stuff.
try that? It's good.
We want to dice up some of this,
So we need a
some
frying pan.
rutabaga, and maybe some green
Oh.
head, or
Yeah. Do you want us to use that frying pan?
yeah, that's why I brought it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you're gonna put it in there. Okay.
Yes, can you, if you want to dice up some of it.
I'm not good at dicing. But,
Not gonna what?
you wanted me to dice? No, you're the expert. He does everything like it's perfect squared. I don't. That's not me.
Doesn't have to be perfectly straight.
Ooh. All right.
I wonder if Ian wants any.
Did you want this, or do you want me to put it in the refrigerator for Ian? What do you want with
You can
this?
put it in the fridge for Ian.
For Ian. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta leave him something to eat while
And if he
Alex is not
hasn't
home.
eaten it by Saturday, I'll have some at church.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be in my dad's, but yes.
Yeah,
where is he
That's
at
right. We'll be
tonight?
thinking of you guys.
No, you could be thinking that's while he's eating his
We're going to a
Done.
prophecy conference.
You know
I
where
was
he
all
is
ready to
tonight?
come here
Yeah.
this Saturday.
He's
Downstairs sick.
Nobody's-
Oh, is he sick? Oh.
Very sick.
I went, you
we're
move
sick.
everybody.
Yes.
Oh dear.
What firm do you know?
What from?
Ah,
He doesn't know.
A virus? He doesn't know.
When did that come on him?
what's that?
Oh, this afternoon. Oh.
Here, look like that.
We'll put it in the refrigerator.
Anybody know when the very sick came on Ian?
This afternoon.
Oh.
Because I talked to him around 2 o'clock because I was supposed to come over. But I had a nice day, so
Yes.
If this is a red heart or not.
you have
It's
about
not.
20 fish tanks outside that have to be cleaned and
It's
brought
getting
in
too
before
big.
winter.
What's
Oh,
that?
so
It's getting too
white.
big.
It's white inside.
Oh, the seeds. Because of
No,
the
it's
seeds.
not seeds.
He wasn't
No?
sick at 2 o'clock.
It's a vein going up the middle that came from this, probably.
Oh, okay, where that is, yeah.
Oh, it's white. It's not.
Side.
Show that again, friend.
I'm surprised that's not red on the inside. I've got some somewhere that
Okay.
are red. I don't know why it's not red. Do you guys normally peel your fruit or
Yes.
eat the skins?
I ate the skin.
I peel. That's supposed to be.
Most
Losing your
things,
vitamins,
I
minerals.
consider that the skin is probably holding half of the vitamins, so I will not peel.
People are getting more paranoid about the apples because of the spray. There was some study came out that said the pesticides were sinking into the apple skins. So people start getting worried and
Yeah.
Oh, some of them came from China.
Well, I'm talking about stuff that I grow
Well,
myself.
what about cucumbers? I mean, I peel cucumbers. No, you don't need to.
if you buy the European cucumbers, there's no wax on them. I don't like the wax.
No, no.
The wax on what?
The wax on the cucumbers. I don't want to eat it really.
I don't have wax on my cucumber.
Oh, no, homegrown.
From the grocery store, you know.
I didn't know they had wax on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the
I know
grocery store.
rutabagas do, and therefore you have to
Yeah,
Peel.
cucumbers do too. If they're shiny, they've got the wax.
Oh, rutabagas, you have to peel, you have to peel them?
If you
Yeah.
buy a rutabaga
Oh, if
in
you
the
buy it,
store, it
okay.
will have a thick layer of wax
Okay,
or a
that-
thin layer of wax.
Yeah, the one that I had last week, I didn't peel, I ate the whole thing.
Somebody want to cut up a couple of those sausage and fry it with this so it can give some taste to this stuff?
Okay, give me a knife, a sharper knife.
Here,
Oh,
not the perfect shape, but it works.
I'm gonna need a dish so I can cut it. Yeah, I should have get a plate. Yeah, I think that'd be better. We'll put it in the dishwasher. Yeah, I have this fork. We just took the watermelon one. All right. Whoa.
I don't know, my pan's big enough. By the time we get 3 things in there.
Oh, boy, this
And I
is really
didn't
cool.
bring the onions back either.
Turkey sausage is dry.
Yeah, it is. That's true. I forgot it's true.
Teresa, did you take those onions home last week?
Oh, I did, and we ate them. They're gone.
We should have had them last week, and then
Yeah.
I didn't know that you took them home, and
Oh, you gave
I
them to me.
I figured they were still in there, and we'd do that this
Oh,
week.
no, you gave them to me.
I'm
You said-
yanking your chain.
Oh, okay. All right. You said that,
That's butternut squash, right?
I told you I cooked with a lot
This
of
is
money.
not butternut.
What kind is it?
I don't know. I looked on the internet and tried to find some that looked like it, and the closest I could find was Tahitian. But it's like butternut.
Yeah, it's a
It's,
gooseneck.
except a butternut is about that big around and only about this long.
Well, that's right there.
These will get,
Yeah.
I've got one that's like that big
Yeah,
around,
he said he doesn't have much
and then the
space.
trunk of it, the
Wow.
whole thing is about that long, it's about 5 pounds.
You can get, if you get a good crop, you can get so much food that you could never, like,
Maybe use that.
it would last you all year if you canned it all, yeah.
Yup. You could.
You'd have to eat it all.
The reason I got into this was because I know hard times are coming, and somebody's got to know how to do this to be able to feed people.
Yeah.
And even if I don't have enough to feed my whole family, at least whatever extra I have can be feeding my tenants or my neighbors or my church people or...
Praise God.
Speaking of church, I was all ready to come here Saturday, and I was going out the door to get in the car. My husband said, if you go to church now, we won't be ready for the birthday party tomorrow. You're having a birthday. This isn't on here, is it?
Inside. We got more than we can cook probably. So.
You got to show me that pan so we can look at that color.
Yeah, we got sausage to go in there yet.
It's good though.
I see a lot of the red ones, but they're in there.
I think that she has a bigger frying pan.
That'll
Yeah,
cook
we'll
down. You'll be okay.
There were
I got you.
a stack of dishes I had.
Put salad in here that's got dirt on it. Because if it comes from a garden, it's got dirt on it. And spin it like that. Put this under the faucet. Make sure you have a plate underneath to catch it. Hold on the bottom.
Excuse me.
And it just shoots the water outside. Hopefully the dirt with it.
That one last year in the refrigerator.
Oh, then you
Since
refrigerate.
Ian's not here, we're not going to have a salad.
You don't just put it with a, okay. If you have another refrigerator, you can do
Just
that.
use a little bit of butter. Can we throw in a little garlic?
Ken,
I found
got some?
yesterday.
Yeah, I'll see if Helen's got some.
She's got garlic powder or something. Sure.
Open that cabinet next to you there.
It's keeping him going.
Garlic salt right there.
His lifestyle, because he was always, he's active, you know, he's always been active.
I'll take you around.
His lifestyle, and you know, he's never had, my father never
peppers?
been overweight. Not one time in his entire life.
No, thank you. I'm
He
good.
had a really good physique, you know, he never, when he got to be like 40, 50, even 60, he had a good physique.
I have an uncle who, he's Italian. He's always been like, never really ate junk food. He's a fruit and vegetable kind of guy. He is 75 years old, and I'll tell you, he is still looking to see what he was 50.
Yeah.
He's got hardly any gray hair here. He was wonderful. I keep telling him, if I was your niece, I think you were hot. That's how good looking he is.
Yeah. No, I know. My father, if he put the baseball cap on, you'd never know it.
Yeah.
Okay? Never.
My
You would
uncle
think he was
too.
more like 70 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my uncle, he looks still like he's in his 50s and he's 75 years old. Yeah, there you go. That was a good answer.
In the last minute of our show, I'd like to tell you about the real reason for this show. Jesus Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Without Jesus as my Savior, I would not be confident entering into these trying times that lay ahead. If Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, I suggest you send me an email at crunchtime@roadrunner.com and ask me how you can join the God who loves you, His Son Jesus Christ, and His disciples in everlasting life. For now, I say to you, God bless and keep you and yours. I'll see you next week on Crunch Time with Chef Francois.